Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone, and fresh of winning the Jamaica Premier League title for the first time, Mount Pleasant hosted a party for their players, sponsors and fans at Plantation Smokehouse in St. Anne on Monday night. Donald Oliver was in the midst of the action.
The party, which started on Sunday night, continued and is continuing.
As you can see, the fans, the atmosphere right now with the fans, everyone coming out to support us, to show us the love, and we value that as players.
And the Mount Pleasant players sure know how to have a good time. 24 hours after winning the Jamaica Premier League title, it has barely sunk in, even for the MVP of the final.
Every time I sit down by myself and have the chance to reflect, it's just all smiles. Even when I try to sleep, I'll just find myself smiling with myself.
He's been replaying the moments over and over too.
Yeah, and I love the commentary and the goal too.
He's wearing the captain's armband, and he is the chosen one, surely, for Mount Pleasant.
Big players had to come up in big moments.
Is it Richie who's coming off?
Yeah, it looks so. He's already taken off the captain's armband, handing it to Sule Makala.
You have to always be ready when the coach is calling on you. So that was it at the moment. I see when Laddie hold his hamstring, and from that moment I got up and I just started to warm.
We have a good depth in the squad, so as you said before, anybody come on, think they can do the job.
As a 23-year-old, this is my second title, winning the first one with Cavaliers and now winning this one with Mount Pleasant. It means a lot.
It's not new for me, it's my third title, but for St. Anne it's their first, so it's a legacy, it's history, so kudos to me and the boys.
For the owner, this is a dream.
I've been pretty successful in life when I put my mind to something. Will I make mistakes? Yes. But will I go again and understand, make one mistake, don't make it twice? That's been my success in life. And to realise that these guys that do the garden, that do the pitch, that do the trees, they're all the same as us, yeah? And it's one club, everyone, from the players to the supporters, they're sitting in the same seats, drinking the same drink. And that's the way I do life.
Well, I know my husband's an incredible man, and when he puts his mind to something, especially something he's passionate about, he's going to make it happen. And I never doubted for a moment that he would make this happen. And of course, it's so much more than just the Premier League and the Jamaica, Premier League. It's about the Jamaica on the world stage. It's about seeing our academy students come up. There's so much, and it's about seeing St. Anne's suddenly be on the map, having a team. We couldn't do this without the fans. And just now, as we were seeing you, giving hugs to guys who have known us for 7 years when we first came on this island, who we call them our originals, but they were the first ones supporting us when we were literally hammering sticks into the ground with a rock, and that was like the local kids playing for our first team. And here we are now, 7 years later.
High expectations and intense pressure have now transformed into unbridled joy. The post-season will be a pleasant one.
Yeah, hearty congratulations there to Mount Pleasant. Well, Donald Oliver was there, Ricardo, and I heard a lot of our viewers had great things to say to him about his commentary.
Yeah, and his ability to write as well and put together pieces like that. That's an absolutely fantastic piece put together by Donald. Just another aspect of his amazing all-round talent. But yeah, congratulations to Mount Pleasant. It is something special to have an idea, but to see that come to fruition is even more special.
Yes.
And that is what has happened at Mount Pleasant. You had individuals with a dream, and somehow they've been able to put in the work. As the owner pointed out, Peter Gould, it's not that he hasn't made mistakes on this journey. Mistakes have been made, but you learn from those mistakes and you find a way to get to the promised land. And that is exactly what Mount Pleasant has done in this case. And I think it's a wonderful story. It is a wonderful story. And when you consider that no Jamaica Premier League winner had come from that parish previously, it makes it even more spectacular, and you get a greater understanding of the significance of this achievement from Mount Pleasant. In fact, thinking about it now, I don't even think a winner has come from this parish, even at the schoolboy football level. So this is a phenomenal achievement for this Mount Pleasant team, for Coach Theodore Tapper Whitmore, for his assistant Davian Ferguson, for those young men who game after game put their bodies on the line and just gave it everything they had, and to be able to come out on top in front of an amazing crowd at Sabina Park in what was a fabulous spectacle of a final. Yeah, definitely. That's why you work hard. That's why you dream and put the work behind it, because you want to achieve, and that's what Mount Pleasant have done.
Yeah, it's a very, very sweet story, sweet success story, as we'd like to call it. And I have to say, I'm very happy, because we know throughout the JPL, Mount Pleasant was going through some rough patches. We had a lot of discussions about it, analyzing whether or not, Ricardo, they would have reached this far. And it's the same thing you spoke about where the club is concerned and building it, making mistakes. Mount Pleasant had their fair share of mistakes this season, but the fact that they came out so strong, they rectified these mistakes. Looking back at it now, the story seems even sweeter.
Yeah, and also part of a season like this where you have the playoffs at the back end, where it's not a straight league format, as a club you have to consider being able to peak at the right time. So they got out of the blocks really well, Mount Pleasant, and then that period you spoke about where they fell off. But I think there was also an understanding that you have to get it right at the back end, and you don't want to get to the playoffs feeling any sense of burnout. And they were able to peak at the perfect time, and they were able to get it done. And that in itself is something that's not very easy to do. So for them to have done it under all the pressure that they would have been under is pretty top notch.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ricardo, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're still going to be talking some football. Stay with us.